When I first started using gold leaf, I didn't expect it to change the whole feeling of my work. But it did. It catches the light in such a lovely way. Today I'll show you how to bring that golden look into your own cyanotypes. My name's Sophia and I'm a cyanotype artist. I really love adding gold leaf as a detail, but there's a particular process and a few things you need to know in order to do it effectively. In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how I add gold leaf to my cyanotypes. Having the right supplies is very important for this process. Here's what I use. First, you'll need your gold leaf. I'll be using imitation gold leaf. This doesn't actually contain any real gold. It's usually made from brass or a mix of metals that mimic the look. Real gold leaf, which contains genuine gold, is 10 to 20 times more expensive. The pack I'm using costs about $15, whereas a similar size pack of genuine gold will cost anywhere from $160 to $350 in New Zealand. I find the look to be about the same and choose imitation gold leaf to keep my prints more affordable. Next is gilding size. This is a special adhesive that you need for gold leafing. Using regular glue won't work. In my experience, different brands apply differently, and I found this Mona Lisa size to be my favourite. You also need 3 different brushes. The first is for the gilding size. For this, you want a decent quality brush, but I don't think it's worth investing in a super fancy one either. Basically, you want to find a brush that's good enough to not have any stray bristles. And the reason why I don't recommend super fancy brushes is because gold leaf size can be very difficult to wash out, and I found it often ruins a brush after a few uses. Next brush you will need is a larger, softer brush. This one will be used to brush away gold leaf once it's stuck down. It doesn't have to be super soft. I think a little firmness is good, but you don't want it to be so hard that it scratches or damages the gold or your print. And the last brush is for sealing. You probably want a brush that's the same size or smaller than your gilding size brush. Again, you want a brush that doesn't have any stray bristles. This one you'll be able to easily reuse after washing though. Finally, and especially because we're using imitation gold leaf today, you'll need a gold leaf sealant. Imitation gold leaf is prone to tarnish and oxidize over time. This means it will begin to lose its gold look and go more of a coppery colour. Sealing is the best way to stop that. It's also the easiest part of the process in my opinion. In this video, I'll be working on one of my prints from a series that I have of tarot cards. For this particular piece, I'll be applying gold leaf inside certain white areas, so it's a paint within the line situation. I get a little plate and put a dollop of my adhesive into it. I try to only put in as much as I think I'll need, as the size will begin to dry and get lumpy the longer it's exposed to air. When I first made this series, I really struggled to see where I was applying the size, and kept accidentally painting outside the areas I was aiming for. To get around this, I found that adding a little bit of watercolour paint to tint the glue, and it gave it enough pigment for me to see where it was being applied. Wasn't sure whether to include this or not in the tutorial. I figured that this tip might help someone else out there. I use a blue watercolour, but you can choose any colour. Just be sure to only add enough to tint it and not completely alter the adhesive. And now you can begin. When you apply the adhesive, you want a thin, even coat. Try avoid having parts that are wetter or thicker than others. Also know that wherever this adhesive touches, gold will stick. So be sure to only apply the adhesive where you want it. You have to be precise. Now do this to all the areas you want. Once you're done, you now need to wait a little bit for the size to dry and become tacky. Different adhesives take different times. This one I'm using takes about 15 minutes. The other adhesives I've used took 1 to 2 hours. You'll know when it's ready when it's tacky to touch. I try to keep this part simple and tear off pieces of gold leaf that are about the size of the area I'm gold leafing. Then gently place it over the area and tap it down. I go through and do this to the whole artwork. Next, I do something called burnishing. It's usually recommended to use a soft cloth or wax paper for this part of the process, but I find that using the tissue sheets that are in the gold leaf pack just as effective. Now all you do is place it over the gold leaf area and rub the back, ensuring all the gold leaf is stuck down. Now you need to wait for the gilding size to dry. This can vary depending on the season you're in. I typically say 5 to 8 hours in summer and 20 to 24 hours in winter. I myself usually just come back the next day. Now it's time for the big reveal. All you do here is get your softer brush and gently brush away any excess gold leaf. You want to begin super lightly and first focus on brushing off larger excess gold. Once you've done that, then focus on the edges. You want to do all of this quite gently and deliberately. If you're too vigorous, you might scratch the gold or rub off areas that are stuck down. So take your time. Once this is done, I brush the artwork down and make sure all the gold leaf flakes are off the print. Now for the final step. Applying the sealant is pretty straightforward. All you're going to do is get a paintbrush and brush a thin layer of the sealant over the gold. Seeing as we are working on Cyanotype, try and only get it on the gold. If you get sealant on the Cyanotype, it'll be noticeable. Once you've done that coat, wait for it to dry. This takes maybe an hour or two, and then do a second coat exactly the same way. This ensures you've got proper coverage over the gold leaf and gives it extra protection. And when that's dry, you're done. And now you know the steps for gold leafing a Cyanotype. Let me know how you get on and have fun. The more you gold leaf, the more you'll begin to get the hang of it. Thanks for watching. And if this was helpful, please like and subscribe so I can keep sharing more tutorials.